Hi everybody, and welcome back to Grasshopper's Kitchen, where tonight's chaotic culinary experiment, or adventure as it could be, is from Martha and Marley Spoon, and we are going to be making white bean stuffed tomatoes. So, to start off with, we're going to go through the ingredients that were in the brown bag, and we have 4 beefsteak tomatoes, a can of cannellini beans. There is a nice big chunk of Parmesan. There is a package of couscous. There's panko. There's some scallions and some fresh oregano. Now, I'm going to point out here that if the fresh produce does look a little bit dicey, it's not Martha or Marley Spoon's fault. It's mine because I've left it in the fridge for a week. So I've kind of gone through everything. It's fine, it's usable, and the only thing that could be a little dicey, the oregano is kind of a little floppy, but if it doesn't work, I've got a whole plant of it right outside my back door. So, pressing on, we're going to start by prepping the tomatoes. I've already got the oven heated to 450, and what we need to do is to basically to cut the tops off, take the guts out, and I'm just gonna go through it as I go through it. So as I get these things prepped, I will be back in a flash. Okay, the first step was to prep the tomatoes. Well, actually the first step was to preheat the oven to 450, but we already did that. So, prepping the tomatoes, use a sharp knife, preferably serrated, and you cut the top off the tomatoes. One of the tricks I think I would point out is, because you get to the point where you gotta, I'm sorry, I'm not even looking, where you chop the tomato flesh, and I did not take the time to take the core out of the tomato, which I think I should have. So anyway, I would say take that little hard core out before, or whatever, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but anyway, you take scoop the flesh and the juice and everything out of the tomato, so you end up with the shells. My tomatoes, every one of them had a little pointy end on it, so I actually cut that off. I don't know if you can see this without me spilling the insides. I cut that off so it would sit flat, and then it says to drizzle it with oil. I don't understand the purpose of that, but I did it. And then sprinkle it with salt and pepper. I'm out of my olive oil right now, so I'm using the Colavita canola oil. I don't think it's going to make that huge a difference. Anyway, so the next step, we scooped out the flesh from the tomato juice and seeds, and now we're going to chop that and prep the rest of the remaining ingredients. Okay, backtracking a little bit before we get into all of what's happened here. Excuse me, I did want to mention before, when I was prepping the tomatoes, that if you had a grapefruit spoon, it probably would be very helpful to get that flesh out of your tomato. I also forgot when I was putting out the ingredients that there is garlic. Martha and Marley Spoon gives a whole bulb of garlic in the box, so I just kind of forgot to take it out. Anyway, so getting on with it, on and on and on. Okay, so the tomato flesh has been chopped up. The scallion has been sliced, and the whites and the dark greens have more or less been separated. I've never been very good at that. The beans have been drained and rinsed, and the garlic is supposed to be chopped up, but I don't like chopping garlic, so I'm going to mince it. And then over here in the overflow area, we have the oregano, which really wasn't all that bad, and that has been taken off the stems and chopped. So next step, we need to get this oil in the pan, starting to warm it up over, I guess, did it say medium high? Yeah, and then we're going to, as soon as that gets heated up a little bit, we're going to add the scallions, the whites and the garlic and cook, stirring until softened, about 1 minute, and then add the beans, salt and pepper, and toss to combine. So while that heats up, I'm just going to put the camera down, and I'll be back, as I always say, in a flash. Okay, so the scallions and the garlic are softening in the pan. I actually turned the heat down to more medium to medium low because this pan does get so awfully hot. Anyway, so those are softening, and the next thing, as soon as those are, I guess, ready, we add the beans. So I guess those are as good as it's gonna get. There we go. So there's your beans, whatever. And then I need to just sprinkle those with salt and pepper. And toss to combine. I'm going to need to put the camera down to put the salt and pepper in. Okay, well, the liquid is pretty much as reduced as it should probably be. We definitely do want some liquid in there. And the next step is going to be fun. So I'm going to try to do this and film at the same time. We move the bean tomato mixture into a spoon, sorry, it's not a spoon, that's a bowl, and that's steam on the lens. Okay, so we add that to the bowl, and then we add the couscous uncooked. Just pour it right in there. And while the liquid was reducing, I did grate the Parmesan. I don't know if you can see it inside that bowl, but we reserved 1/4 cup of it for the topping, and we put the rest of it in there. So then we I'm going to say season with salt and pepper, which I'll do that in a minute, and then we toss it to combine. So I'm going to add the salt and pepper and toss, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, well, I don't know what got filmed there because my camera turned off. It seems to like to do that, but anyway, at this point we have the added salt and pepper and the oregano, stirring it up, and then we make the panko mixture. Hopefully some of the good stuff at the beginning of that last segment filmed. This camera's pissing me off. Okay, just stopped recording again. I'm ready to throw this camera at a wall, except it's pretty new. So anyway, back to this. 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan, the panko breadcrumbs. There is a little bit of salt, and I put in fresh ground pepper and 1 tablespoon of oil. I would have preferred to use olive oil, but I'm out of it. And you know what? You can only use what you got. So anyway, that is the topping. So the next step is to fill the tomatoes with the bean mixture and top with the panko mixture. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a two-handed job, but let's just see. I think, yeah, that would be much better. That would be a lot easier with a smaller spoon. Okay, let's see if we can keep the camera on for more than 4 seconds. Okay, so moving right along, we're putting the bean mixture into the tomato cups. Oh, look, there's a little tomato bottom. And we're going to squish it in here because there is a lot of this mixture to get in there. And just as a little side note, FYI, I'm really feeling kind of cranky right now. It's very hot in this tiny little kitchen. Today is August the something or other. It's like 100 million degrees in Florida, and I'm standing right in front of a 450-degree oven. So I'm going to put the camera down, finish filling these up, and then I'll come back. Okay, well, so far the hardest thing here has been putting that panko on the top. I couldn't really film it. It was definitely a two-handed job, and it went everywhere. So now the next step is to put these in the 450-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes until the breadcrumbs are browned. So, okay. Adios, amigos. And while that is cooking, I'm going to clean up this mess. Okay, I can smell Parmesan, so I'm going to get out the handy dandy oven light here and see what we've got going on. And yeah, they do look like they're basically done. So let me get those out of there. I'll just put the oven light over here, and let's see here, if we can do this without burning myself. Oh yeah, those look yummy. Okay, I only put parchment on the oven tray because it's so ugly, but I'm glad I did, considering all that stuff kind of spilled everywhere, and at least now I don't have to scrape crispy panko Parmesan bits off of the tray. So let me get that plated, and I need to eat because I'm getting a little shaky. That could be why I'm cranky. And for my next magic trick, I'm going to try to get it off of the tray and onto the plate, and I guess off of the spatula, which that's going to take another hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can do this. Hang on. Okay, well, the crispy panko Parmesan mixture is really, really good. Next thing we need to do is to apparently put some of this green stuff on there. I don't know why. And I'm only going to plate one at a time. So now I'm going to move over here to here, and this is the island, and that's the wine. Okay, so this is where we're going to take the official Instagram picture. Once again, knowing absolutely nothing about wine pairing and not really caring, I am having this with this cheap but drinkable grape and vine Cabernet Sauvignon. I get that from CVS. Yeah, I would like to be able to spend 10 bucks on a bottle of wine, but I can't do that, and a lot of people can't do that, so I would recommend this stuff. It's not bad. Anyway, from me, from Grasshopper's Kitchen, I am going to say buon appetito, ciao for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.